Hello, welcome to Rude the Reformer. I'm down at Art Rude's grandson's graduation in Texas, and we're getting rained on in Texas. And it's my understanding still no rain in North Dakota, at least not where I live. So hopefully that can change. In the meantime, I want the people who have already signed on to understand that every day I think about the terrible divide in this country. And I wonder how we can have a discussion of how to end this divide and bring us closer together. Because the two-party system has failed us all. So let's have a discussion of how to replace it with reform. And let's not talk violence. That's definitely not the way to go as far as I'm concerned. So welcome to my on the road version. And here's where I hope this will be the second stop for everyone if you haven't already done it. You know, I don't want any followers. I don't want any voters. I want more freedom for you. Our freedom has been limited by the two parties. You know, think about buying anything in an American marketplace. And Americans are famous for choice. And yet politically, we only have two? Well, let's talk about that. And let's talk about how we can reform the system to make it work better. And thank you for joining the discussion this early. And I hope you'll help spread the word. This is the book that I hope is the second place you stop. First stop is the Constitution and Bill of Rights. Understand what your rights are. Don't just take them from secondhand sources. You know, so many people have never read it for themselves. It's not that difficult. And of course, it's not a comic book either. But it tells you exactly how the system was set up. And unfortunately, the political parties have changed that. They're the weeds in the cracks. There's no provision for them in the Constitution, but prove it to yourself. Read the Constitution. Don't just take my word for it. Read the Constitution and Bill of Rights yourself. And you know what? There's no provision for political parties. And in the research for this book, we found out that they definitely did not want political parties. The founders were afraid that political parties would cause division and end the union that they were trying to create. Remember, how does it start? We the people, in order to form a more perfect union. And just ask yourself, what have the political parties, both of them, if you want to put blame on one side or the other, please leave now. You're hooked on the political cocaine. That's what the book is about. Political cocaine. How America got hooked on the two-party system and how to intervene. It's all about your freedom and your personal choice. I wish I knew who drew this cartoon originally, but this is one of my all-time favorites because it's so true. You see it? It's kind of hard. Republicans and Democrats. Looks like there's two aisles, but where do they both lead? To the slaughterhouse. The illusion of free choice. Absolutely. This cartoon is the truth. Because both parties, for all the anger, for all of the animosity that's shown by these people that are on each side, they're owned by the same people. Yeah. See, so this back and forth, that just happens on the top. And underneath the table, that's where the real politics happens. You know, why do people spend $10,000 or $20,000 for a plate of food? It ain't the food. They're getting back favorable legislation in terms of tax breaks, in terms of regulations that favor them. See, the two-party system pastes it as everything being the same. But see, regulations are the friends of big business. Yeah, big business. The big capitalists can shut down free enterprise. Why? You put in more regulations, and the big guys just hand it off to their legal department. They don't care. Their butt is covered. But the little guy's out there trying to run his own business or her own business. And they see all these regulations and they go, I can't afford an attorney to interpret all this stuff. I can't file all this. It puts the little guy out of business. That's the part they don't want you to know. All regulations are evil. Bull. Some regulations put the competition out of business. And that's the reality. But we don't want to talk about that because that's under the table. We want people to be thinking right, left, evil, socialist, racist, get people fighting. Forget it, people. Let's get together. We have far more in common than any difference you'll ever see. So let's get together and let's talk about a better system. I'm thinking that I'm going to add a fourth point to what I've been on my proposals. I'm trying to start the conversation, people. The conversation of reform that will make the system work. Today I'm going to my grandson's high school graduation. And I don't want him or my other grandchildren to inherit this terrible animosity that we have between two halves of the country. And our enemies are laughing at us. The Premier of China was laughing how the American Congress can make no decisions. And he's right. That's the sad part. He's right. Our political system in the United States has become the laughingstock of the world. I'm sorry, I'm becoming Art Rude. I've got to be Rude the Reformer. Settle down. Cool. Makes me very angry that people get so caught up in this back and forth and they don't realize how they're harming our country. We should be Americans first. It used to be we had a point of view and points of view had differences, but we could find middle ground. Now there's no middle ground. It's trench warfare. Both sides are firmly entrenched. And if you go to the middle ground, what happens? You get shot to hell. Look what happened to Newt Gingrich. He worked with the evil Democrats. Yeah, and for the first time, we had the budget on a path towards being balanced. But they killed Newt. The Republicans did. For working with the awful Democrats. To me, that was the last that we'd ever see of cooperation between the two parties. And what have you seen? Just that. No cooperation. So we, the people, need to take it back. And hardly anybody's thought of replacing the two-party system because they think it's in stone. No, read the Constitution. They have no rights. Political parties have no rights. The founders did not want them. Now, were you taught that? No, you weren't. And how about your friends? They weren't either. So we need to discuss that. We need to make people realize these two groups are running our country for us. Remember, a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And what is it today? Of the money, by the money, and for the money. So it's going to be difficult because we don't have the money that they do. So we have to learn to get along and discuss once again and decide to take back our government from those who own it today. I hope you'll have a wonderful day today. I hope you'll have a great discussion with somebody and you can avoid the partisan arguments. Just remember, they can't do anything. Neither the Republicans or the Democrats can accomplish anything significant. Because what happens? We go to the right, then the other side wins, and we go back to the left. Only further to the left than we were before. Then back to the right further than we were, and left. A nation divided against itself cannot stand. I want America here for my grandchildren. I hope you'll join the discussion. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Remember, every day is a gift. That's why they call it the present. Thank you so much for dropping by, and I hope you can subscribe, and I hope you can recommend what I'm doing here to other people, and have your friends and neighbors join the discussion. Let's take back the government from the political parties. They have no rights. You do. Have a great day.